Hi guys, it's me, just Machine again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to Women's History Month in March of 2026, I shall be discussing episode 9 of season 1 of this show, Carmen, Sandiego, which also happens to be the season finale for the first season, so it's actually pretty cool. Anyway, the name of the episode is The French Connection Keeper, and the French Connections, obviously, I'll put it on the movie The French Connection, of which I haven't seen yet, so in the comment section, please let me know if you guys recommend that movie to me. I know my father had been asking me to watch it with him one day, but I've been too busy. Anyway, this episode is very good in that number one, it combined all the elements from the last couple episodes to make a proper season finale. And second of all, we actually see like a little relationship going on between Chief S01 and Agent Julia Argent, like beyond professionalism, as if they're actually having like a little bit of a romantic interest involved. And Chase actually shows that he's having a little bit of an argument with Julia over the fact that he can't capture Carmen Sandiego because he thinks that Carmen Sandiego is the ultimate villain in Violet's catalog, and that she's the head of the evil corporation and such. So he still gets it on the fact that she's the number one villain. Whereas Miss Argent tends to think that she's stealing these items and such from Violet, and that she's more for throwing in the side of them, and that she still wants to pursue her, but more for questioning the fact that she's like a red Robin Hood, if you will. So anyway, and he's still pissed off that he's constantly being thwarted by the Femme Rouge, Miss Sandiego. So it's no end to him to know that he's being fooled and being tricked and all that stuff, which I would imagine is a real concern if he was a real character and such, being constantly duped and tricked and outmaneuvered by a girl no less. It's kind of funny that he has seen Carmen Sandiego, and she is a younger woman, like maybe about lower 20s, early 20s-ish, and all the other criminals in Violet are like supposedly much older than she is. How does that work out? How does it pan out that a younger woman like that would be the boss and superior to so many other older, probably more experienced thieves and criminals and such that have a much more heinous repertoire to them. They probably committed murder, ID theft, a bunch of other gruesome things like animal experimentation and so on and so forth. With that, collectively. So anyway, We start this episode off with a little bit of arguing between him and his partner in work, Julia Argent and Devon. And the thing is that this devolves more into a relationship tension or sexual tension. Even when I saw this for the first time, I was like, this isn't just, him yelling at her over the fact that he constantly is misinformed and that he keeps getting the wrong leads and he thinks the wrong person is in charge of everything evil and all that. This is more of a personal thing. Like, this goes quickly into the realm of sexual tension plus relationship problems. And I don't think that it's very, me personally, I would never get into a relationship with somebody in law enforcement if I were in law enforcement too. I know, it just seems very, things go wrong there, especially when there are weapons involved, pistols, shotguns, and everything else that the people in law enforcement can have. So that could be an issue too. We never actually see them using the weapons in combat, but that could be a potential problem. So anyway, they show that Chase yells at her very, very badly. And in fact, he yells at her so bad that afterwards he feels kind of awful about it. And that later on he said, well, why did I do that? Why did I yell at her so much? Am I really that much of a fool to do that? I'm glad that he didn't say fool, like with an exaggerated accent, like in Sonic the Adventure, Sonic AM, in which Anton with fool, like the word fuel. That would have been just stupid. I should say foolish. So anyway, they have him brushing his teeth with toothpaste that's got a big V on it for vial. To which he falls asleep unconscious because apparently they can infiltrate hotel rooms and place knockout toothpaste in the medicine cabinet of the main police officer's personal stash. So anyway, they were always File has been keeping tabs on this one guy, besides having the access to his key card, because he was in many keepers and many coordinate keepers. For example, the last one with Miss Cleo, with Miss Cleo and the the paintings that he burst into the office right when they were having dinner and such with the buyers of the very paintings. And there was chase in last episode with the stamp collector and all that. So he's been as present as Carmen Sandiego pretty much during this whole thing, to the point that the Vile members think that he's in cahoots with her. So they bring him in for questioning or interrogation. So that's why they said the whole thing about putting knockout toothpaste in his medicine cabinet. Which, whenever I brush my teeth, make sure that it's my brand that I like to use. I like to use. And the fact that you wouldn't check something like that goes in your mouth, it's kind of weird. Being a cop or an Interpol agent instead. So in any case, he gets captured, and then later on, Miss Archie has to go get him under the chief's advising her to go after him. But then we also get knowledge that Carmen is being chased down by two file operatives. Number one, S01, and number two, Coach Brunt go along for the ride and make sure that everything copacetic with them. And it's funny because she's the one that's always been accused of going assault on Carmen Sandiego and all that, because they have a thing with her being called Leggings by her, and she called it blood cheap and all that. So that's just kind of funny that there's just so many names for Carmen before she became Carmen that it starts to get a little annoying now. It's the point that I would assume that Coach Brunt would eventually call Lamb Chow, like the old puppet with Sherry Lewis, I think her name was. So anyway, they have her getting a little bit catch too eventually, but then they also show that Ivy and Attack could lead them all to the trail of Carmen by having two of them use the sky to describe themselves as the store wearing the trench coat wearing villainess or anti-hero. Now this is my biggest problem with the whole thing, is that when they show these two, running around as Carmen, it's quite weird that they have her they emulate her running style perfectly. I mean, you would think that with two different people playing one person, you would think they would have different running style, running animation. But because it's a cartoon, see with that, with the running, one leads Charles away, and the other leads Coach Brunt away. The other one's Devin like that, Julie Argent. She's on the show too. She's looking for her partner in more ways than one. But anyway, they show them anyway. And I forgot which one was that got paired with Coach Brunt. But Coach Brunt don't take any shit from anybody. She ends up I think it's that gets pinned by him. But yeah, gets paired with him. And at first she said she goes down the alley, and then he ends up going into hanging by a pipe of the chase. So then he looks phew, and then she catches on and then starts busting the pipe down. Now what's really amazing is that he says that red on his color, even though he's a good Irishman with red hair. So what you're trying to make, you don't like on hair. Now, this is kind of funny. I want to bring this up in the episode, but Carmen also wears a lot of red outfits on. besides the trench coat they had, which we generally did a lot from last time with paper storm. But in any case, she looks fabulous at her red outfits. I would think that if you're trying to run away from an organization like Vile, I would think it'd be important to not wear so much red. They know you as red. Just saying there. So they end up fighting with Coach Brunt, and now Coach Brunt is a very, very intimidating woman. She can easily bend bars and bend piping with her massive fist. And she ends up trying to take down Zach. And so little Carmen ends up trying to beat the crap out of her. Unfortunately though, Coach Brunt doesn't have a soft spot for her. In fact, the only soft spot she has for her is on the bottom of the shoe for her. And he ends up thrashing her and stuff like that. To the point that she ends up dragging her away and putting her in that same spot with Devanel. Which kind of unruly and kind of unfair. But I think Ivy it's in touch with Charles and they realize that he's becoming a good guy. He's switching sides to the good force. So there's that. Because of course, the Japanese person in the bunch of Bio has to be the most noble person. I find that to be kind of so difficult, but it's kind of cool at the same time because he must follow Bushido, the way of the warrior, the honorable warrior. Which, okay, yeah, it's kind of cool that way. So, anyway, what I find funny is that he always wears the same outfit on, the same robe on. He does it even when he's on Wild Island, which would be kind of a dead giveaway for him, too. Kind of like Samurai Jack always wearing the same outfit on. The evil forces will be able to pick up on that right away. So anyway, they have going over to something good, but not before they actually show him trying to knock out Carmen Sandiego, which turns out to be a lock. They forget that. But anyway, they have Coach Brunt, a real mountain of muscle, going up against Carmen Sandiego and trapping her in a warehouse with Agent Devanel. So it's actually pretty fascinating. You get to do that, and then she locked the gate behind him by crushing it. By crushing the gate closed. And it will remind me of that first level in the King Black, in that first room that you're in. So anyway, they have it that Coach Brunt is actually fighting with Lamkins in the warehouse. And that what's the name? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's the anthem. We always say that Agent Chase is stupid for thinking that the film movie is behind everything, every crime and stuff. But he's actually pretty smart because you get information from him when Coach Brunt and the shotgun was still inside, they put a mind restrictor device on his head, trying to talk about stuff. But what's really funny is that when he does this, to keep his mind cloudy, he keeps on repeating the same song, the French national anthem. It's just like when they put the Halo anniversary edition together, they put the Halo terminal link in there, and they made so that Captain Keyes could sing his name so that the flood wouldn't be able to effectively assume his mind. So that was actually pretty genius of him to do that, to prolong the torture, prolong the extraction of information. It didn't work because he eventually succumbed to the memory extractor, but still, it was a good show of his willpower and determination to fulfill the vital thing about extraction. So, later on, after he went unconscious by the device, Carmen removes the device from his head, tosses it aside, and then fights with Coach Brunt. And this is like a pretty fast thing because number one, she rips up Carmen's coat, which I'm sure will be regenerated in the next episode, like the hat. But it's just that she wears a skin-tight black biosuit underneath it, which I would think would be a little more conspicuous than the red overcoat and a hat. But whatever. You know, her fashion choices, her life, her fashion choices. So, they show him fighting, and we realize that it's quite hopeless for Carmen to be fighting this gigantic brute of a woman because she's just so goddamn huge. And, it's bad enough when she fights Tigress and Paper Star, women that are more or less like equal to her in size and strength level. But this girl is like me trying to punch a tank. Like, I'm big and bad and stuff, but Jesus Christ, this girl is like a tank, like a truck. So when she hits, she is hard and kind of dirty because she headbutts her at least once. And it's pretty fascinating. And the fact that she's trapped in it like a WWW cage match or something, it's actually really terrifying because you don't know if you're gonna live or die. And even when Carmen uses the taser on Coach Brunt, right in the midsection, I'm like full power, and says something to kill. So anyway, she absorbed to tank the entire blast of the taser. I'm like, how can this girl possibly go down if that's the case? That she can tank a full taser right into the sternum of her belly. That takes a lot of cuts, if you will. So anyway, she takes it and she almost rips off what's the name's head. And then Carmen actually has like a little bear hug moment with Coach Brunt, and she puts her in a big hug, and it's going to crushes her head and her neck, way up until she gets a little bee sting in the back of her neck. It turned out that the child's son is over there and gives her the, I forgot what they call it, the Vulcan, neck grab, whatever, a Vulcan, neck hold, whatever it's called. And that got Coach burnt, because she assumed that he's on her side with bad guys of the group. And it's quite fascinating. So, this whole big mountain of muscle, this whole tank of a human being can be taken out by a neck shot. Kind of like in the Halo lore again. Get the chief wearing his Spartan, like a big giant truck of a soldier that can take mortars and can take rockets and all that stuff, but just hit him in the back of the head, in the back of the neck, and they fall. He's like a house of cards. So anyway, they showed that Shadow Sun is like Carmen thinks that Shadow Sun's out for her. That instead of Coach Brunt taking the hit, that he wants to take credit for himself and get the credit for himself. And so he swiped at her. Now, we are led to believe that he finishes off as Shadow Sun kills Carmen Sandiego. But because she's damaged at this point, she's limping, she's cut up, she was almost crushed by Coach Brunt. So, but it turns out that he actually took a swipe at the great blow at Carmen's feet. It turns out that he swiped at the lock and destroyed the lock. Which, I don't know, is that even possible to destroy a lock with a sword swipe? And is it even possible for someone to tank an entire charge of a taser? I have no idea, but the cartoon anyway. Well, he escaped, and and he said that during the entire history of Carmen with Violet, he's always been trying to protect her, because even a heart as cold as mine has to have a little bit of a sympathy for someone like you, and for a baby no less, because he's the one that actually saved her in Argentina and then adopted her. And he said that when he went on the pier in that vessel, he wasn't going to try to stop her, but he just wanted to make it look like a big ruse to the others on the Violet Island that he was going to they were going to attack her with the sword drawn and stuff, and then he just wanted to join her in her escape, because all the information about Violet Island was valuable to the right authorities and such. So it turns out that he's a good guy, and that he even brings up the fact that during the final game, that the coat his coat was empty of all the of the dollar bill, so that even if Carmen did find something, it wouldn't be there. There wouldn't be any dollar to take. So it was empty. So he did that just to protect her and make sure she didn't pass the final exam, even though she was a very high student in that regard. So, yeah, he took that originally, like, yeah, the coat was empty and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I knew it. She actually said that. So, yeah, it's real that Jonathan is a really good guy and he has a lot after all. Now, I don't know if it's clear or not if Jonathan was always meant to betray Will, or if it's just because of Carmen's innocence that he decided to become from a pure bad guy into kind of good to being a pure good guy. I don't know if that's what it meant. Or it could have been just a coincidence that, I picked up this baby, so I'm going to be a nurturing father figure to this person where I could be an openly nice to her, loving to her. And let's see, well, it also, they also have a very interesting thing where before Chase get faints, before it loses all the energy, they have him use a pen device to get a hold of a chief. And right as he faints, it's revealed that Mr. Sandiego is there with him, fainted, of course, and that when the chief appears, she said, what did I tell you about Carmen and your pen? And then she sees the guy painted on the ground, and she turns around, she meets Carmen Sandiego for the first time. So this is kind of fascinating to see that the pen projector can project images as well as receive video footage of the surroundings. So that's pretty cool. And beforehand, Chief actually was whining and bitching at Chase for being an incompetent agent, for destroying so much property, costing the company lots of money because the car were lost in the previous episodes, and that you know how much these cars cost for loaded and all that. So that was actually pretty fascinating. And the thing is that Chief gets to believe that Carmen Sandiego was the one to actually put the device on the guy's head and knock him out unconscious. She thought that as the head of Acme, that Carmen Sandiego was the actual bad guy. And Chase was like, I told you so. But anyway, it's funny that before they found out about Carmen Sandiego and the kidnapping stuff, he was under the impression that he was better off than Acme, because the person that he wanted to find, Carmen Sandiego, he actually saw with his own two eyes. Whereas, for all intents and purposes, the Vile Corporation was like a ghost that the Acme company was trying to find, trying to chase. So they were chasing nothing they could see. And they chased it, did have a like up on them because he knew for a fact that Carmen really did exist. Although he was completely wrong about character, but still, it was nice to get that validation. At least give him something. So then on that, after Carmen crushed the pen. She ends up calling Drew Argent at like 2 in the morning, telling him that they got a man down and that it's chased. So then immediately she gets dressed and goes to help him out, like a good partner would. And apparently the makeup section must have been awesome. So yeah, there's that little detail that the kids that made up. And I kind of noticed that he reminded me a lot of Velma, like from the pup named Scooby-Doo, Velma, and not the TV show Velma, which I haven't seen it. I hear very, very bad things about it. So anyway, there was that, and they also saw that Song and the other girl, Carmen, find Danny, and I also like the fact that Violet operative friends, whatever, they find out that Carmen is not working alone because she can't possibly do everything by herself. She got players, she got Ivy inside, and she got Salazar and other allies. So anyway, at the end of the day, Salazar does disappearing act that bet is done for. When she talking to him, turn your head, and then he disappears for a long time. He come back, but also he come a little present, a new hard drive for all the new the new season 2 objects and whatnot that Violet will be going after. So that's a good plan for season number 2. Which is like kind of fitting for this type of show. Like I think the first 9 episodes or so of the show was kind of like a dry run. See people like it or not, like G-Rock, and from there they determined that it would stick, and that people would like it. So I like this episode. I also like the fact that when Coach Grunt picks up, she's pissed off. I mean, like not just like pissed off, like I get angry at times. I mean, she's over pissed, like Hulk level pissed off. Because not only did Carmen get away, but she found out that Cha-san was a traitor, and he actually knocked her out with a broken hole there, which probably is very detrimental to someone so big and large, and that kind of shakes up the whole power structure of the Violet organization, and powerful advising it too on top of that. So she was really pissed off. She was able to take the great from where Charlton and Carmen escaped from and just smash it away. And I like that. I like having someone so powerful that you can easily rip something apart and twist metal with one hand. Must be really interesting to see what happened to a lover. Anyway, it's really quite fascinating to see that Charlton was so integral in all the little events in Carmen's life. Kind of like the parents were in for Lila in Futurama, in that they were there but unseen. And the fact that he was protected by a Charlton and that he didn't want her to get into a life of crime because she was an excellent student, but he was trying to protect her from all the vile operatives and all the negativity of possibly being caught and all that. So that by him doing that, by him sacrificing so much, it led her into a more positive lifestyle. So rather than being a thief and a criminal, she should be more like a Robin Hood type character, taking from the bad guys and giving it back to the good people. And Jerry too. So yeah, I like that. Plus the fact that Japanese too is kind of nice too. You know, I was kind of thinking that when I first saw this, I was hoping that maybe Carmen would talk something to Coach Brunt or something, but no. And Coach Brunt, for her part, didn't try to talk Carmen into going back to Vile, because you know that would kind of fruitless. And it was actually kind of fascinating. This whole season, this whole show. By the way, you should listen to the main theme song of Carmen Sandiego. It's kind of something like the saying, "Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?" Which is the place in Bosnia in Europe right now. Anyway, yeah, that was so fun. Of course, the authorities pick up Domino there's a McDowell again with I'm sure Miss Argent partners on that stuff too, using own special way. And yeah, that's really funny. That when they leave the two people in the warehouse, definitely with burned. They imply that the authorities will get there first. So if first of all, they assume that Chase will be fine. Nothing bad will happen to them before Brent gets up and possibly kill them because they'll look at the information from him about Acme. And number two, they assume that when Coach Brent wakes up, she doesn't harm a hair on his pretty little head. Now, first of all, so yeah, she's so enamored with tracking down that she is furious in her efforts to track them both down to Son and Carmen. And yeah, I would be kind of pissed off if that happened to me. So yeah, this is a great final episode for the season 1 of the show. And thank you very much for watching my video on Carmen Sandiego for the 9th episode of the first season of this wonderful show. It was called the French Connection Keeper. So I also want to find out if this show has anything to do with the French Connection movie. I think it was all made for that book too. I'm not sure. But yeah, I did this for Women's History Month in March of 2026. So I would like to thank you for watching all my videos on the Carmen Sandiego TV show. And I just look forward to seeing all of the fabulous outfits and other things too. By the way, I wonder how much strength would be required to rip apart a trench coat like that, like Coach Bun did. And how much it would cost to get like a policeman coat for it, like Carmen gave Zach and Ivy. So yeah, anyway, I give it the episode and the episode French Connection Keeper. One of these happy face steel puzzle, as well as the entire first season, because it's awesome. It's to delve into a bad girl character and give it more identity. Because in the games and in the TV show, it can kind of portray Carmen as being like older, so that's a big good younger version of her. It just thought out with. You know, if you want to link them all together. And by the way, Coach Punt is a tribute to Roberta in the acapella version of it. It was so fun to talk about the show again. I actually have something else planned for one last video for the Women's History Month. So anyway, if you guys like what you see here, you want to see more of my stuff, then like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my stuff by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707, or you can call me on Twitter or at PNelsonPro. Also, my email is jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, and also, as you like all this animation, this spice stuff, and just in general fun type TV show, it shows real good depth in characters like S01, Coach Bun, Carmen, Sandiego herself, Ivy, Zach, and even Graham Crackle. In that not everything black and white, not everything is pure bad intent, and it's always you can always have soft spots for people, and among other things too. So it's kind of fun. It's good to experience another side of a well-beloved character like Carmen Sandiego. And peace out, my brothers and sisters. See you in the next video. All the girls and guys in Instant Lane. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao. Have a good day.